Ground shakes with thunder as the toad dragon, atop which Tamarkan rides, is gonna make its way forward here. And speaking of thunder, we've got a Thunderbarge over there. That's right, it's gonna be Nurgle versus the Dwarfs. And just my mic there a little bit. Apologies about the noise. Yeah, we've got Flying Taco versus Dwarfs on ladder, and Thunderbarge versus Tamarkan. So some big old Chungus pieces in this one. Got lots of demons, Nurglings, and toads. Looks like some spawns as well. A Chaos Sorcerer of Nurgle. Furies up in the sky. More toads, Nurglings over on the side here. Got some Slayers running out over there. Some hidden miners that got unhidden. And more toads rushing through on these Iron Drakes here. Malachi leading the way. Bolt Thrower is already unloading on the Plague. Toads in the front. More miners. Dragonback Slayers give weakness to fire, which will synergize well with all the Iron Drakes and the blasting charges, should they get in contact. Before the blasting charges are thrown, which is not looking to be super likely here, but we've got some Longbeards in the front line, trying to hold back the tides of chaos and plagues. And immediately we see the Furies rushing in. 2 Furies on the Thunderbarge, doing some pretty good damage so far, but the Dwarven crewmen on the side, using their shotguns to good effect. They're going to be blasting away here, and should be able to get through the Furies, dealing some pretty good damage. Let's see how the Dwarfs get disrupted. Yeah, Plague, Toads, and the Toad Dragon able to get through. Tamarkan popping his buffs here. Yeah, all that debuff as well, plus some Fleshy Abundance on top for every type effect just about possible. Taking some damage from the Dragonback Slayers, but also dealing some pretty heavy damage in return. Let's get close, watch some cinematics as the Barons of the Bog. Yeah, they are doing a nice little AoE debuff as well, helping Tamarkan punch through, especially against like the Longbeards and stuff, but even just fighting through the teeth of the Slayers, a unit which definitely will punish him pretty heavily. We see him taking some significant HP damage, but with the support, able to get through the Slayers there. Spawns helping out as well. Toads over on the far side, definitely struggling more, but able to run over the Bolt Throwers at the very least. These Slayers moving in to counteract. The Thunderbarge mostly dealt with the Furies at this point, and if we take a look at the value, its other guns have been firing as well. Almost 2,500 damage value already, so definitely has a capacity to pay for itself still, despite the aerial pressure. But Taco, it's more about just occupying the Thunderbarge, not allowing it free reign to just shoot at whatever it wants. Right now it's like trying to bomb Tamarkan directly, which, you know, respect that move for sure. That's the spawn charge up the hill here, try and take out these Iron Drakes. Lack of AP will hurt them a little bit in that engagement, but overall, Dwarfs having some leadership issues. That being said, Malachi is still there. He's got his ammo refill, which you don't really have to refill the ammo on the Thunderbarge anyway, because it doesn't really use it much, but is here nonetheless. Slayer's trying to support, moving against Tamarkan, get a nice fecundity, vigor refresh, and heal. And Malachi just dodging. Ooh, look at that. MLG sneaks over here, using this column as protection, dodging around, kind of forcing the Toads into some awkward pathing there. Runesmith comes over to bop the Toad Dragon in the ankles, which actually does get some damage. Very brave Runesmith, very dwarven of him. And the shotgun's continuing to unload from the sky as well. And the Thunderbarge, yeah, just continuing to rack up value now. Basically, it's like a flying mortis engine. That's one of the reasons why it's such a strong unit, even to this day. Like, definitely can be countered, but very tough. I love the bomb bay doors opening as well from the animations. It's super cool. I don't know if I've ever noticed that before. When it drops the bombs, those little doors slide open. But anyway, yeah. Shotgun's just doing consistent damage. Do they also count as flaming attacks as well? No, but yeah, we're gonna see Slayers trying to hold out. Longbeard's a handful as well. They're immune to psychology, so they're not going to get terrified away as easily. And decent leadership for sure, but how can they hold? Somehow Malachi manages to get free, sneak away, and use his triple barrel to great effect. Is it a triple barrel? Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Nice shots on the big boy, and Tamarkan's taking some pretty significant damage at this point. More importantly, a lot of the support units are pretty much gone. We're going to see another heal coming in. That's going to be a nice fleshy abundance on the Barons of the Bog. Very important to keep them around, as they also have a little bit of a vigor refresh. Not that it's mattering too much. Tamarkan is exhausted anyway, as are they at this point in the battle, but, you know, was able to hold that off for a little bit of time, and it does have a weapon strength debuff as well. Not super impactful against the Dwarfs, unless you're fighting like Hammers or Giant Slayers, but yeah. Doesn't help against the missile damage of the Thunderbarge, which is just continuing to rack up value, now easily up to 5,000, as if you want to know what's actually killing everything here, it's mostly the Thunderbarge. Continuing to drop bombs as well, just directly on the heads of the spawn. So looking pretty dicey, even though Taco did a great job, for the most part, you know, disrupting and doing what he needed to, ultimately just starting to run out of steam. That being said, Tamarkan finally went after Malachi himself, decided to try and deal with the Slayer Engineer. And Malachi, despite fighting in the forest, doesn't get much bonuses. He's no bonus versus large, actually. I mean, he'll have the regular bonus from the forest of not being a large creature. Tamarkan chilling in the woods, but Tamarkan does get some protection from missiles fighting in the forest as well, so it is somewhat beneficial for him to try and do that. Of course, if he gets Malachi low enough, then he can potentially finish him off. That being said, Thunderbarge does have leadership. It could potentially get army lost here, but that the ability here, what is it? Not the breath attack, although it looks like he hasn't used any of those yet. The feast. That's right, this is the one. Will heal himself for a bit, so it'll keep Tamarkan alive for some time. And, of course, deal massive damage to the closest character. You can see there that that modifier just went red because Malachi is out of range. So Taco definitely needs to stay close to either Malachi or the Runesmith to make sure that procs if he gets that low on HP. But he also could just eat Malachi as well, which he does. And then Toad will move over to see that Favored Son's going to proc. Try and get it on the Runesmith. But some of his support units do manage to stick around. Don't get full demonic instability mode, even though the Nurglings, they're able to come in here and at least shatter some of the support units for the Dwarfs, make sure they ranged units can't come back. Although they do eventually get hit with demonic instability, as army losses actually kicks in for Nurgle. But being that Tamarkan is unbreakable, as are these spawn, they'll continue fighting. And Tamarkan on the Toad Dragon is absolutely a beast. Still 650 weapon strength. Wounds just now kicking in. Maybe that's very odd. I guess it's 25%, right? Yeah. Just now kicking in, but otherwise wouldn't have been debuffed from, like, you know, exhaustion at all. And again, fighting here in the woods has a little bit of protection from missiles. He's just got to try and finish off this Runesmith if he can during that time. And this is Conquest. I don't know if you noticed, but the objective has been under control of Nurgle the entire time, so we could potentially, just maybe, see a leadership win, or a points win even, if Tamarkan is able to survive long enough. Right now, the Thunderbarge, plenty of infinite ammunition, right? And yeah, almost 7,000 damage value, so something to be said about that. But a Runesmith. Look at the mouth of the Toad Dragon. It is so nasty, to be honest. The Runesmith definitely taking some damage here, but will Favored Son proc? Let's keep our Tamarkan unit card up. Rune of Slowness. It's going to help somewhat, but won't actually help him from getting charged, as the Runesmith there takes a big old hit. Favored Son, I believe, should proc. Yep. Still has not procced yet, so we'll keep this ability up to make sure Tamarkan can stay in range. That Rune of Slowness, definitely feeling it now, but the Toad Dragon getting directly bombed by the Thunderbarge at this point. Let's see. Oh, he has to actually get reduced to 0 hit points. I keep waiting for it to happen. But, yeah, he uses... Oh, that's Favored Son. That's right. Feast of the Maggot Lord. I keep getting that one incorrect. That's fine. But we'll fast forward a little bit as he pursues. He just eats the Runesmith, so there you go. Looks like he did heal cap there. Piece of the Maggot Lord does proc. But now we're going to cue the Benny Hill music and fast forward, as Flying Taco is going to do his best to stay behind the Thunderbarge. Some old Total War naval tactics. Most ships don't have guns in the back. So if you can manage to stay behind them as much as possible, yeah, you can see there's no weapons on the backside of the Thunderbarge. So ultimately, he just needs to turn around here. But, yeah, this player try and do so. Taco trying to stay as close as he can, but you see exactly how he maneuvers kind of his front direction towards the back of the craft, and only needs a few more seconds to hold on till victory through tickets. Let's keep Tamarkan's health bar up. He's down almost to double-digit HP, 129 HP. Manages to get directly under the Thunderbarge. You can see the cannon crew, like both these cannon turrets aiming back, like, gotta get him in range. Try and go forward. No, back, reverse. Having some crew communication issues, perhaps. Uses the Thunderburner there to try and get out in front, but ooh, that one more shot lands on Tamarkan, but all that time wasted means the ticket victory comes true. And for once, Conquest get the rare ticket victory on Conquest, but that's one of the closest games I think I've ever seen. I mean, Taco literally under army losses with, like basically double-digit HP on a single entity, manages to win on tickets due to the fact the flying units can't capture. And even though it got almost 8,000 damage value, which has to be some kind of record for a multiplayer match, 57,000 damage dealt, 217 kills, absolutely insane. Thunderbarges are still insanely strong. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Here, they are basically the only unit besides the Dragonback Slayers, and the regular Slayers do actually get some meaningful value as well. Longbeards are decent defensive roadblocks, but ultimately aren't going to get a lot of value themselves. But yeah, it's basically just the Thunderbarge getting the majority of the army damage value there. On the other side, Tamarkan gets some good value himself. Probably, yeah, the Furies pay for themselves, putting in some damage on the Thunderbarge, even though tactically it was kind of meaningless at the end of the day, actually, because the Thunderbarge wasn't killed and was able to just fly around and keep shooting till the end game, but nonetheless was able to do enough damage to the rest of his army to win and hold the objective. So, yeah, pretty wild one for sure. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I know it was definitely one of the crazier replays I've been sent. I do apologize. Taco sent it to me like a month ago, but just now getting around to casting it, and it's a doozy for sure. So hopefully you enjoyed. If you like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button. Every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.